Put your hands together and give God some praise. Yeah, give God some praise today. Y'all can do a little bit better than that. Yeah, I know it's 8 o'clock in the morning. We serve a mighty good God. Dr. Foster, this brings back memories. So can I have a Sankofa moment? Can I have a Sankofa moment? Gospel choir. You still got the juice. Yes, they have a way, Pastor Jackson can attest to this, they have a way of making you go on and make it do what it do. Dr. Foster done put me way up on the monkey balls. Now I got to seek and I swing on the monkey balls. God is so good to my friend and my brother, your most efficient, esteemed pastor, one of the few men in this ministry that I can call a brother and a friend. Pastor, we thank you for opening your doors not only to me, but to the graduating class of 1995. Stand up, let everybody look at you, the graduating class of Columbus High, 1995, my classmates are here. I'm just overjoyed and excited. I'm about to jump out of my skin. They may be seated. We walked down the hallowed halls of Columbus High. Some of us scattered around the neighborhoods here around Columbus. But just look at her. Look what God is doing. Amen. To you, Holsey Chapel, I'm just elated to be here. But there is a word from the Lord. I'm going to tell you like Elizabeth Taylor told husband number 5, I'm not going to keep you long. Like she told husband number 5, not going to keep you long. Can I give a mini skirt if that's all right, Pastor? My anniversary is Monday, so I've got to get on the road. I'm going to give you a mini skirt sermon. It's going to be short enough to keep your attention, but long enough to be respectable. Would that be all right today? To Pastor Nichols, who serves over pastoral care, that's essential in these times. The work that you do is so greatly needed. Our prayers are with you. Pastoral care is better because you have your hands on it. Amen. We thank you for what you do for this Chattahoochee Valley area in the pastoral care ministry. It may not be your time to get pastoral care. You wait a minute, your day is coming. Amen. But there is a word from the Lord. Let us go to Acts chapter 28. Acts chapter 28, verse number 5. Your pastor read it earlier so eloquently. He read it like a seminarian. I'm just saying. Read it like a seminarian. But I want to look at verse number 5. Verse number 5 by the New International Version. Are we there yet? But Paul shook the snake off into the fire and suffered no ill effects. Let us pray. Oh, gracious and eternal God, to move me out of the way that the people of God may see you. Lord, you blessed us yet to be here another day for yet another preaching privilege, not because we've been so cute, kind, and caring. We just walk under your merit, favored, being grace. We thank you for this worship experience. God, bless it today. To no means word without end. Amen. I'm just going to use a very simple topic today. And they say Paul shook the snake off into the fire. I want to talk about the shake it off. Just shake it off. And we always believe what's coming next, what's coming my way. What problem am I going to deal with next? Feel like I'm between a rock and a hard place. Just don't know how I'm going to make it. As we sat with my classmates and we sat and gathered together downtown Columbus, as y'all call it uptown Columbus, reflecting over the last 20 years. And if we look at our lives over the last 20 years, we've had to shake some things off. Had to shake some problems off, had to shake some folks off, had to shake some issues off, had to even change our telephone number. Well, what do you mean by that, Pastor? One of my good friends, Boys Shaw, has a message on his answering machine. The message said, I make some changes in my life. If I don't call you back, you one of those changes. Sometimes we got to change the folks that we deal with. Things are always coming at us at once. We look here at Paul on the shores of Malta. Now, earlier they were in a storm. They're shipwrecked. Now they're shipwrecked on an island of Malta. Now they get out. They finally get to safe. It's raining. It's cold. It's very tedious weather. The natives are unusually kind to them. See, what you got to understand when you go to a strange place, sometimes folks feel kind to you just trying to feel out just how you are. Trying to check you out, trying to see what you're all about. But really, they got ulterior motives. They really do. But they were checking this man out. He don't look like us. He don't smell like us. He's not from our side of the tracks. So what's really to him? How did they end up him? Why would they try to go sailing out on the sea in a storm in the first place? See, can I take a homiletical leap back, Pastor? See, when the storm came, they started throwing stuff off the ship. See, sometimes when the storm of life comes, class of 95, you got to throw some stuff off the ship sometimes. See, that keeps you turbulent so you don't turn over as fast. So sometimes in life you got to turn over some stuff and throw it overboard. Got to throw some people overboard, got to throw some things overboard. Every now and then you got to give them, see you later, peace to deuces. I'm living in a better place now, but I see you on the turnaround. Yeah, Paul here is in this very precarious predicament. It's raining and all this is going on, and he's gathering bushwood branches to put on the fire. Fire draws a snake out. Snakes don't like heat. See, anytime you see messy folk, they're always trying to get away somewhere and hide. Yeah, you know, we had a few messy folks in the class of 95. I'm just going to talk about it and just be about it. Every time you see folks hiding and lurking in the corner, you better watch those kind of folks. They vipers, I tell you. Vipers will be out to get you when you try to start a business. Vipers will get you when you try to get married. Vipers against you when you try to have children, start a family. Vipers will be against you. Yeah, this viper comes out and he bites Paul on the arm. See, sometimes folks wonder how you can walk through your circumstance. I've been through the same thing, baby, and it like to kill me. How was you able to get through? What if you come sit down and talk to me of nothing but the grace of God that brought me over? See, we need to, Pastor Jackson, in our society, we need to quit while figuring out why folks are being blessed. It's not really for you to answer the question. We sit here and try to dialogue, figure out why folks are being blessed. And it really ain't for you to even figure out who died and left you in charge. Everybody gonna have some viper bites every now and again. Yeah, and I'm sure he had no scars, no ill effects, they say. But see, it's a story about a young man who was playing by his neighbor's pond, and he had scars. So he fought with the alligator, the mama pulling on one end and the alligator pulling on the other. And they wrestled, and the neighbor comes and he shoots the alligator. And they interview this boy, and they ask him, how did you make it? They say, look at the scars on your leg. But he said, I want you to see the scars on my arms. He said, the scars are where mama didn't let me go. Sometimes the scars on us is when the Lord did not let us go. We've been through the fire and the flood. We've been shipwrecked in life, but the Lord did not let us go. Risha, I'm going to be where you want me to be in a minute. Just let me give him a little more meat. I'm going to be somewhere. I'm going to put some grave on the meat, Reverend, because I don't want you to tell my bishop on me. I'm going to put some grave, but I got to act like I went to Payne College. I know a little bit of what I'm talking about. I took Dr. Oscar Brown for English 101, so I know virginality adjectives. I know how to put them together. I am a Columbus High School graduate, #1 magnet school in the state of Georgia. Stand up. Take hold of God's hand, move. So that's what happens in our movement in life. We take hold of God's hand, and the viper comes out. He drives him out, and on his hand, and it fastens him. And then when the islanders saw this, which brings us to our first point, when you're trying to shake off, people are going to talk. You can't do nothing about talkers. Folks, teeth and tongue is dangerous, I tell you. Folks gonna talk anyway. You got to be careful because you're gonna have talkers. You got to make your haters your motivators. These folks are sitting here talking, supposed to be the islanders. Look at the contrast in the text, Pastor. They're welcoming him in the early part of the text. But when he runs into a little bit of trouble, they start talking about he must be a murderer. Folks will do that to you, Sister Clyde. Yeah, you got the white folk. You got to watch. You remember that old blues song, Smiling Faces, sometimes. The OJs had a song called Backstab. They smile in your face. All the time they want to take your place. Backstab. Y'all know about the OJs. Oh, I need some help here today. I didn't come down here by myself. Yeah, I'm going to preach if y'all going and help me. I know class of 95 will help me if nobody else help me today. Yeah, but you got to understand now, these folks are talking to islanders, the natives, sitting here having a round table of discussion, what I call cooler discussion. Those who work in the corporate world, you know, all the talk go on around the water cooler. Am I right about it? All the gossip discussion go on around the water cooler, but the water cooler ain't just designed yet for the corporate office. They sitting around the fire talking about must be something wrong with the man. He got to be a murderer. Must be done escape from justice. I wonder if he on America Most Wanted. Wonder can we get the $1,000 award? Somebody need to call somebody. I know it's something about this man. Something got to be up with him. I don't understand. This snake doesn't bit him and it didn't nothing happen. A lot of folks, we don't look like what we've been through. No, you're not supposed to look like what you've been through. Yeah, people are going to talk. You know what I call people who talk all the time? It's a word that one of my coworkers came up with, Deacon Hollis, and he called them mushmouth folk. You want to know what a mushmouth person is? I'm glad you asked. Mushmouth folks always going around talking what they know nothing about. And somebody need to go mash their mouth. Mushmouth folk, bucket mouth folk. Always dripping unnecessary stuff. Got to watch bucket mouth folk. Bucket mouth folks are dangerous to your life, dangerous to your ministry, dangerous to your growth. Bucket mouth folk. Do you know any bucket mouth folk? Yeah, unfortunately, I've had to deal with some bucket mouth folk. When I was trying to get to what God would have me to be, still dealing with bucket mouth folk. Well, keep on dripping. If they keep on dripping, God keeps on growing us. You got to watch talkers. If any of you are familiar with the Peanuts gang, Charles Schultz and Charlie Brown, they had two particular characters there, Lucy and Peppermint Patty. Lucy and Peppermint Patty always had a way of saying all the Charlie Brown's faults. Their favorite word, you blockheads, you did it again. And when they would do that to him, all poor Charlie Brown would say is, good grief. And so they would always be at Charlie Brown, attacking him in some kind of way for his misfortune. But you know what you got to understand is a little Charlie Brown in all of us. In one episode of the Peanuts game, Lucy admitted, I have a knack of seeing everybody else's faults but my own. You got to be careful you don't be a Lucy or a Peppermint Patty. And when them kind of folks come around, you just got to pray for them, and all you can say is, good grief. Yes, we got to be careful what we talk about, who we talk down, who we talk on, because that's God's child, and you ain't doing nothing but setting them up for a blessing. The more you talk, the more I stay on my knees. Isn't that what they say? So you got to understand today, you can't be a talker all the time. If you want to be a Peppermint Patty, go somewhere and pray. Peppermint Patty ain't never meant the gang no good. Every time some stuff take place, go pull it up on YouTube and watch the Peanuts gang. Every time some stuff take place, who in the middle of Lucy and Peppermint Patty? All peppermint ain't good for you. All peppermint ain't sweet. My grandmother told me everything glitter ain't gold. I'm having fun, Holsey. Can I have fun? It just feels good to be home. Yeah, y'all know who I am. We've been together for years. You know how I do. So my next point is he come out with no ill effects. Verse number 5 says he comes out with no ill effect. You've been through some things in your life. Folk were expecting you to come out with ill effect. Folks expect you to come beat up, bust up, and messed up, but you came out smelling like a rose. Folks tell you to come out bent over and throw up, and you came out, you don't look like what you've been through. You came out standing throw. You went through the refining fire. Folks expecting you now to come out with ill effects. Some stuff doesn't bit you. Some folks doesn't bit you. Some situation doesn't bit you, and you done came through with no ill effects. And see what you got to understand. When you come out, folk can't figure how you come out. Some of us wasn't really called to do a whole lot of stuff. In our graduating class, they weren't expecting a whole lot to come out of certain areas of town in Columbus High because we wasn't in. I'm going to leave that alone. Was finna go somewhere. I might go there in my clothes. But see, we didn't come from certain sides of the tracks, and we weren't expected to do much. Can I go on ahead and talk about my class for a minute in the text? I know for a fact that we have entrepreneurs in our class. We have folks that walk in the corporate world in our class. So we weren't no dumb class. We were a smart class. Everybody's making their way, not just in Columbus, but all around the United States. But in the process of getting there, they had some talkers, had been through some stuff, but the reason they're where they're at now, they had no ill effects. They don't look like what they've been through. Don't look like the storm that they've been through. It's all right to go through the storm, but God don't look like the storm we've been through. I'm Pastor Jackson. I know about storms. I know about haters. I know about down talkers. Folks won't expect you to do much. You got limitations. You got this. You got that. All the folk doing the talking dead and gone to heaven now, and I'm still moving in God's grace. Yeah, it doesn't come out with no ill effects. Ill effects can sometimes be dangerous to you. They can saturate your spirit, be like a cancerous disease, and takes over your mind and make you not want to go forward. But the Lord made a provision where Paul came out with no ill effects. Yeah, he fixed it up to where even this man of God was so in tune with God that he was snake bitten and didn't even get poisoned and die. Have you been bit by some things that they thought was going to kill you, that they thought was going to tear you down, but God saw you through it? Lord have mercy. Next point is people are talking no ill effects. See, after the ill effect, they expect him to swell up. Yeah, folks expect you to swell up and mess up and be disfigured through your storm. You can't shake this off. Yes, how did she get it? See, they try to figure out how you get a new car, how you get a new house, how you even get a good husband. Having fun, everybody knows. They're talking about what I'm talking about, y'all. We're just having fun. Folks trying to figure out, she sort of swell up in the first place. How did she make it through it? She had multiple deaths in the family, children acting crazy, spouse all out of sort, and you supposed to had swole up. You know, class of 95, folks were expecting us to swell up and not do a whole lot, swell up and just fall over. But look at us now. What that song, Look at Me Now. Look at me now. You know, they had a song, though, Look at Me Now. Just look at me now. And I say it again, I'm not what I've been through. Yeah, folks were expecting to swell up, overimplode, bust open, not do a whole lot. They were expecting this to happen to this God-man in the text. But it did not happen. And through all of this now, the islanders are still looking. See, now they done stopped talking. They just sitting in amazement, trying to figure out what's going on. See, one of the unique things about a bucket mouth person, they're always thinking a way they can devour something. And see, you know what one of the most dangerous things is now? Social media. But we use it for good things. Folks go back and forth killing each other on social media. Want to air your dirty laundry. And then ask why folks know your business. Well, you wouldn't know it. I wouldn't know it if you wouldn't put it out there. Can I be honest? You know, I'm on Facebook, all my classmates. Can I go and work with it? I don't want to hear about you cooked pork chops yesterday. I don't want to, can I have a moment? I don't want to hear about you took your light bill money about outfit to go downtown to the Oxygen. I don't want to hear about that. Yeah, I like to read the stuff when folks putting positive stuff about their kids or folks done had brand new babies, stuff like that. Yes, I like to look at that on social media. When you start thinking like that and thinking of the world, you have swelling up and been everything everybody had expect you to be. See, you don't have to be what folks say you're going to be. Sometimes, like Pastor said, sometimes we're just comfortable with the frogs. See, when you swell up, you're comfortable with the frogs. He said, I spend one more night with them. We want to spend one more night with our circumstances, one more night with our problems, but we are afraid to change because swelling up is easy because of what everybody expected. Now, this was not in my notes. The Lord just gave this to me. So if you're going to swell up, if you're going to swell up for the Lord. The Reverend Dr. Claude Bass used to always say, I'd rather be a God fanatic any day. Devil's icicle. I'm just foolish enough to take God at his word that he will take care of me. People are talking, no ill effects. People talking, no ill effects, and you will swell up. But my last point is they were looking for you to fall for dead. They were looking for you to fall and kill over and no good come to you. These folks are talking now, these islanders, and he swelled up. They were expecting him to swell up and suddenly fall dead. But after waiting a long time for it to happen, yeah, folk want you to fall over dead in your circumstance. Folk want you to fall over dead in your mess. Want you to fall over dead in your trials. Want you to fall over dead in your tribulations. Even in our own church, pastor, when certain preachers get to certain place, they want you to fall dead. When you go off to Payne College, they want you to fall dead. Yeah, I'm not ready to go there yet, girl. Yeah, I got a few more minutes. Let me get a little more meat. When you fall dead, when people expect you to fall dead, when you go to, quote unquote, the lead church, when Bishop has sent you out to be the leader of the conference, you got your own colleagues, one that confess the gospel Sunday after Sunday, waiting on you to fall dead. I want to talk to some of my classmates now. When you start your own business, you got folks in your own play waiting on you to fall dead. When you try to strive and get somewhere in the school system, folks are waiting on you to fall dead. When you get ready to get married and start a family, you got folks around you waiting on you to fall dead. I'm ready to go now. Come on, Risha. Waiting on you to fall dead and be of nothing. You got to shake the devil off in your worship and your praise. Like Jay-Z say, go on and brush your shoulders off. Don't worry about what folks say. Talk about me as much as you please. The more you talk about me, the more I stay on my knees. I just shrugged my shoulders off. Sister Covington, they wouldn't expect me to do much. But when I left Columbus, I shrugged my shoulders off and said, I'm going on and do what the Lord told me to do. Yes, I had some struggles at pain. Yes, it was some hard times. But in this thing, I just told folk, if you're going to talk about me, kick rocks. I don't need you in my life. Dr. Foster, you got to tell messy folk, kick rocks. I don't need you in my life. You tell them, go on, goodbye to deuces. I don't need you anymore. I see you on the turnaround. Don't listen to player haters. Player haters will tear you down. But you got to make your haters, oh Lord, have mercy, motivators. Haters can lift you up, but haters can help you pass final exams. That you writing your papers for school and your computer crash, but somehow the paper showed back up. Yet folks look at you funny, made different decisions, but long as the Lord is blessing you, folks are waiting on you to fall dead and not be very much. Folks waiting on you to fall dead and go down in despair, but you got to be like Paul was by the fire. Sometimes the viper gonna bite, but you got to shake him off in the fire. Shake off messy folks in the fire. Shake off hate in the fire. Pastor, I know I got some haters, but come May 2016, I just shake them off in the fire. Yeah, you're going to have folks going to hate on you, going to try to talk about you in your shopping complex. Shake them off in the fire. Folks going to talk about your family. Shake them off in the fire. You're going to have haters for you in this conference because your relationship with different folks, shake them off in the fire. If you know you got to shake them off in the fire, give God some praise today. I know the Lord will make a way somehow. If you know the Lord will make a way, stand on your feet, give God some praise today. Don't you know God will take care of you? I got one more story, then I'm going to my seat. It was a young man by the name of Jimmy. Jimmy came to church every Sunday making noise and throwing candy. Jimmy always caused problems at the church. And folk were wondering why Jimmy always made a fuss. And one day we said we got to meet with Jimmy's mama. We got to find out what the problem is that's going on. And so they met in the pastor's office with the good old stewards and trustees. And Jimmy's mama sat back and said, what you got to understand today, Jimmy is deaf and mute. And the reason he throw candy, he getting his praise on. What Jimmy really saying is that every day with Jesus is sweeter than the day before. When he throw peppermint, he said the Lord is sweet. When he throw butterscotch, he said the Lord is sweet. When he throw Snicker bars, he said the Lord is sweet. Every day with Jesus is sweeter than the day before. If you know every day with Jesus is sweeter than the day before, give God some praise today. Say yeah. Say yeah. You know it's been good to you. That's why I like the song by Jonathan Nexon. I know who I am. I know my identity. My name is victory. If you got cancer, you tell them, my name is victory. If I'm going through the storm and your financial aid can't go through, my name is victory. When they won't give you the loan to start that second business, you go and tell them, my name is victory. Until you getting ready to get married, you tell them, my name is victory. I know who I am. I know who I am. If you know who you are today, give God some praise. I know who I am. Won't he do it? Won't he do it? Won't he, won't he, won't he do it? Oh, I know he will. Y'all got to get me. I can have my own private praise party. See, I don't look like I'm through preaching what I've been through. See, I told them last night at the gathering that I wasn't going to come to the reunion because I wasn't in the in crowd. I didn't look like everybody else, and I didn't wear Nike sneakers. You know. And I'm not sure wasn't no magnet student. God knows. But we had a beautiful reunion. Everybody was so warm to me. Like they're really glad to see me. And I was glad to see them. God is good. Eyes have not seen, ears have not heard, Holsey, what God is getting ready to do. Follow this vision bearer right here. He's got a vision. Get behind, y'all get behind him. He is him.